Aloha, it's Dave Lawrence. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. Thank you for listening and being part of this conversation. I've got a very special guest joining me. He is the frontman for a popular American contemporary rock band who he's guided himself from 1992 with their first album dropping in 94, a new one, a tasty all-classic rock covers record arriving in August, just after they headline at Bayfest on Marine Corps Base, Hawaii in Kaneohe on July 16th. Rediscovered follows 6 albums and nearly 2 decades of hard work that's included some fascinating experiences, from performing Led Zeppelin's music live with Jimmy Page to helping Carlos Santana carve out new music. It's a great pleasure to welcome this very talented songwriter, guitarist, vocalist, and founding member of Puddle of Mudd, Wes Scantlin. Aloha and mahalo, Brother Wes. Thank you so much for taking a moment.
No problem. Aloha, man. No problem at all. You're my bud.
Cool. And a pleasure to get to talk to you. What's your background with the islands like?
Shoot, I think we were on tour on the first record, Come Clean, and me and one of my best buddies chose to just go to Hawaii. I think we went to Maui. We hung out there. That was pretty cool. We got there and we stayed at the Four Seasons or something, and I thought that I think it was Kapalua.
Yeah.
So anyway, we stayed there, and I thought, like, the whole time that we were there for, like, 4 or 5 days, it was only going to cost me, like, $400 or $500, but it ended up being, like, $5,000. And I was like, darn it, man. So anyway, we had a pretty good time. We did 7 pools and jumped off the cliffs and ate some pretty good food, met some pretty cool people, and it was cool, man. And Hawaii's beautiful, man.
Is that the only time you've been here?
That's the only time I've ever been there, yeah.
Wow, and the only island was Maui.
Yeah, I mean, we were just kind of trying to be mellow and just kind of relax. I mean, we had been on the road for like 18 months or something like that. It was crazy.
Sure. No, I can imagine it's a great place to get away, and it's even cooler when you get to sort of do both, when you'll be playing here and you'll have some time, hopefully, to kick back.
Yeah, man, it's kind of cool. This will be the first time we ever played in Hawaii, and we're excited to play for all the troops and everybody there. It should be a really, really good time, man.
Now, I see that later in the summer, when I was taking a look at your site, that you're going to be doing what looks like a classic rock set to go along with Rediscovered. Can you kind of describe what you're going to be doing at the Marine Corps base here?
Well, right now we're in rehearsals, doing the whole Rediscovered record. We're rehearsing that. And we'll probably, I'm not sure if this entire band that we have right here now, with the extra people, are going to come or not. I'm not sure about that, man, but I hope they all get to come, man. I guess it's a financial thing. A lot of the time that's what happens, but regardless of that, we've got a bunch of good songs. We're going to jam, and we play TNT from AC/DC. We do a little bit of an interlude in Control, and we play War Pigs in the middle of that song where it's I Love the Way You Smack My Ass. So we kind of like extend it with War Pigs. And I'm not sure, my guitar player Paul Phillips, and good friend, he's kind of he's the leader of the set list. So if he was here right now and where I'm at, he would probably be able to give you better information. But it'll be a good time,
I have no doubt. Do you change the set night for tonight, or when you're on tour, do you lock in a set and repeat it?
Yeah, when we're on tour, we lock down a couple of different sets. It depends on the time that we get to play and we have on stage. Sometimes we have 45 minutes. Sometimes we have like an hour and a half. So it just depends. We have short set lists and we have long set lists. And this time, I'm not sure exactly how long we're going to play, but if it's like an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30, whatever it is, there will be a lot more songs. So I hope we get to play the long set list.
I can imagine that you will be. You'll be the headliner, closing down a long weekend, and really the only hard rockin' band out of a weekend of acts. Thinking about the set, finally, before we talk about the record, will there be any sort of acknowledgement on your part of the military presence? You mentioned it before. We are the most militarized state. You will be gigging on a Marine Corps base. However, it is open to the general public. But just if you had any thoughts about the fact that you will be rocking for the troops.
Yeah, man, we've been over to the Middle East. We played in Iraq and Kuwait for all the soldiers over there, and we've made a lot of friends, a lot of soldiers and people that are in the armed forces. We've done that about 4 times. And we always have a really, really good time playing for the military and stuff. And I love playing for the armed forces. I'm also really glad the general public gets to come out, too. That's really cool.
Yeah, every year they do that. And it used to be on July 4th for some odd reason. This year, the event is not happening around then, which works out good for me, too, because one of the Marley brothers is in town that night, and I was sort of stressing. Dealing with both of you on the same day. But yeah, there will be a lot of troops there. Have you ever done a gig for the wounded warriors, so the soldiers that are injured and recovering?
Yeah, we did it. What do you call that? It's like, what's that place you can't go to? Cuba, and that one. What's that bay or something?
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay. Yeah. Well, we are. Any type of military place, like a base that we play at. Unfortunately, there's a lot of wounded people, and we go to the hospitals, and we bring them shirts and hats, and we sign autographs and take pictures and sit with them for a little bit and try to lift their spirits up. It's interesting and kind of crazy and saddening, but they fought for our country and our freedom, and we go in there and pay respect to them. I'm not sure if we're going to be visiting any hospitals there, but I am always ready to go and go say hi to everybody in the hospital. And I'm sure the wounded warriors, if they're there, we'll see them and we'll give them some hugs and some love,
That's because you're a quality individual. Appreciate you saying that. And So let's talk about this tasty record that I've been devouring and tormenting my neighbors with over the last couple of days. Or you could think of it as serenading the neighbors. It depends on how you think of it. I like the album a lot. And you're welcome. And thanks to Danny for sending it my way. Gimme Shelter. Who's doing the background vocals? Sounds like Fergie on that.
We had no Fergie. Well, she's awesome, but we had Joe Walsh's backup singers come in, and they basically came in the studio and just took care of it real quick, man. I think it took like maybe 1 or 2 hours, and they were in and out. They were like little phantoms, I didn't really even get a chance to talk to them, but they did a great job. And Bill Appleberry, who's piano player for Joe Walsh, and he's the guy that produced the record at the blasting room. Yeah, I think it was the bomb shelter, the bomb shelter or something like that. Yeah, that was at the Stone Temple Pilots recording studio. It was really cool. We had a fun time doing this record, man, and got to meet a lot of cool different musicians, and it was fun, interesting, challenging, and at the end of the day, I like rocking it in my car. I got it right here,
I bet you do. So much snarl and soul from you at the end of Gimme Shelter. I really dig that. The extra wording and improvising at the end of the song is happening. Was it a choice between that and other Stones tunes, or you had your eye on that one?
Yeah, there's another one, Knocking on Back Door, or something like that. I forgot what the heck that was.
Can't You Hear Me Knocking?
Yeah, You Can Hear Me Knocking. Yeah, that was one of my choices, which is cool. But Gimme Shelter is also a really good one, and thank God Mick Jagger doesn't sing like Robert Plant or anything. He kind of keeps it a little low and kind of cool, and with a lot of sexiness in there. So I could pull that off pretty good most of the time.
Right. And what led to the choice of Old Man? It's such a mellow song. You guys have done big background vocals on the chorus, nice guitar work, the slide, the authentic guitar noises, mandolin, I guess I hear, organ at the end. Why that song?
It's just a great song, and plus really relates to my life, and I think a lot of people's lives, you go like, wow, man, I'm just like my dad. Great song, man. I love that song, and we were like, yeah, this would be a good one, and we just had fun doing it, man.
Oh, it's cool. He lives on the Big Island, actually, in Hawaii.
I wish I could live on the Big Island and here and other places, but I'll just keep downsized and live in my little house.
Well, when you visit, we'll just appreciate your visit. Maybe it'll inspire something a bit more permanent. Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Who's the female vocal on that one?
We got the girl B.C. Jean. She is an artist who Clive Davis kind of took her under his wing, and she's a great singer and came down and knocked it out real quick. I mean, it was fun to sing it with her because we were both in the same isolation vocal booth, just kind of singing it together, and I've never really done that, and I would do it again, man. She's a beautiful woman, and she's got a great voice, and hopefully I can collaborate with her in the future on some different stuff.
It was nice to hear the female vocals in a variety of places, I guess, added something to this record. As I moved through it, I like the choice of the Joker for your Steve Miller Band songs. Again, was that a case of you wanted to get something from Steve on, or was it really that song?
That's a great song. It's fun. It's a great, fun song. It's like a summer jam. We were playing at kind of the same notes as She Hates Me, and we did kind of like a little bit of a collage of 3 or 4 different songs. There's a movie called Grease where it's like Summer Lovin'.
Right.
And the notes in the Joker are the same as She Hates Me. It's a little bit different as far as a rhythm thing, but we play She Hates Me, and then we go into the Joker, and then we go into Summer Lovin', then we kick it back out with She Hates Me. So it's really kind of an interesting way that we pull it off.
I like that. That sounds cool when you intertwine the classics with your own tunes like that, and some of the neat arrangements that you got, bro. I dig like Rocket Man, for example, has a really nice arrangement with the guitar at the end, because you really add something to it. It's a piano jam, but you turn it into something else.
Yeah, that's a really good friend of mine was like, you need to do this song and stuff, and I was just like, wow, I already heard that song, and I grew up listening to it, and I was just like, that's cool, And it's kind of crazy because we go on tour, and then we're gone for months at a time, and it's like your girl packs your bag for you and puts like your little puts your little lunchbox, gives you a sandwich and some potato chips or something. And it's like we're on a tour bus just like every other band for many, many months at a time, and you get lonely out there, and you miss your family, and you miss your loved ones, and you feel like you're in outer space going to Mars sometimes. And if NASA needs any astronauts, they might as well just call us rock stars and just get us to go to Mars, man, because we know how to be on a bus sitting there doing nothing for a long time.
All you got to do is watch the spaceship video, my brother.
I know, man, I know. But that song is awesome, dude.
I love that tune. The video is comedy too. Couple more questions on the record. So I'm sensing, because you got All Right Now and Shooting Star on there, that somebody's a pretty big Paul Rodgers fan. Yeah,
I mean, that guy is, Paul Rodgers is just a brilliant singer, and those songs are great. He could sing real high, man. It was very, very strenuous for me to try to mock him. I got through it, fortunately. Took a little while. I had to warm up a lot. That guy's just awesome, and all the musicians that played on those songs and the writers, they're just great writers and great musicians, and Paul Rodgers, he's a great singer. I think he wrote the All Right Now song, or he sang that when he was like 16. So, I'm in my 30s, and I'm sitting there going like, oh my God, this guy was 16 when he sang this. Like, man, what's going on here? I locked myself in a room and just did vocal warm-ups and drank tea and made sure I didn't mess it up.
You added your own sort of bit, improvising at the end of Shooting Star on the vocals.
I had to, man. I got so frustrated with Bill. I was like, dude, I don't even know if Paul Rodgers could come back in and do it exactly like he did it, So I just like scattered around and did my own thing, and I was like, you gotta just that's the way I'm gonna do it, okay? If anybody gets mad about it, I guess they can punch me in the face or something. I don't know.
No, you added a lot. Have you ever met Paul?
I never met that guy, man, but he seems like a pretty cool dude, man.
Yeah, he's good stuff. I interviewed him one time in London and at the Big Zeppelin things. And as we wrap up, Funk 49, good one on there. I don't really have a lot of commentary on it other than it has all the desperation and energy of a young Joe Walsh. And interesting that you had some Joe musicians with you. But thinking about Jamaica, which is your Zeppelin nugget on there, being here in Hawaii where reggae is king, I'm curious, why of all the Zeppelin tunes did you choose their reggae song, if you will?
You know what? I don't know, man. It's just a good feel song. If you got a boat or, whatever, that's like me and my buddy in West Palm Beach, man. When I go there, I've heard that song on a boat like for years and years. So it's like anybody goes camping or fishing or boating or skiing. Reggae itself is just amazing, and it's just a fun song, man,
Are you a big reggae fan?
I love reggae, man. I really do. Bob Marley is obviously my first pick, but there's all kinds of killer reggae. I don't listen to it religiously.
Sure.
I wouldn't be able to name anything.
I understand.
I can't really name anything, but every time I hear reggae, I play reggae on my bus in the morning. Right when I get up, I just put some reggae on. I just kind of be mellow and chill out in the back of the bus,
That's nice. It just made me curious because there's so many Zeppelin tunes that you could have done, and you chose that one. It sounds really cool. Out of curiosity, And you've done so much since then, and I'm sure it may seem like a really old memory, but you got to actually play with Jimmy Page that one time. How does that hold up in your mind after all the other things you've done with your life?
That's I'm never going to forget that moment in my life, getting to hang out with him. Every time we go, most of the time we go to London, he'll come down and say hello if he's there. But he's a really awesome guitar player. He's a great guy, and I never would have thought in a million years that I would have been able to play Thank You from Led Zeppelin with Jimmy Page and Fred Durst. I would have never thought that I would have been. I didn't think Fred, me, or Jimmy Page would have got together and jammed that, but it was pretty cool, man. Thank God I got to do that.
And you've hung with him since.
Yeah, we've hung out since then. Yeah, man, and it's not like we hang out all the time, but. He's a cool dude, and every time we see each other, we give each other a big old hug, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe try to collaborate with him or whatever, but, I don't know, most of the time what he's doing, but I'm sure maybe if the planets align correctly, maybe we could write some songs together. That'd be awesome.
Oh, it's a great acknowledgement for you, just that you were able to maintain some kind of, relationship, I guess.
Yeah. We all of us little rockers out here, we all see each other from time to time, and, we don't plan it, but, fortunately, there's all these festivals, and sometimes people just book other bands, and we all get, it's kind of like a family reunion a lot of the time when you're on the road.
Yeah, I know. I always hear a story similar to that. As a final note on the record, have you ever heard the song Spooky from the Atlanta Rhythm section?
I don't know. If I heard it, I probably would know it.
It would sound killer if you covered it. Sometime if you have time, YouTube it and watch the video. After listening to the record, my old lady and I were like, man, they would do that so slamming.
All right, well, I'll check it out, man, when I get home.
Just a suggestion.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, not like you need suggestions from me, Brother Wes, but I was just, I admire your work a lot, and just thought you could do it justice.
We'll check it out, man. As
we wrap it up, there's a serious kind of song that's in your past, and I'm sure you've talked about it a number of times, and maybe are sick of talking about it, but the song is Blurry, and I don't have any kids, Wes. I never had seen the video for the song either until just recently. I'd heard the song, obviously, many, many, many times. I'd never seen the video. And when I watched the video, watching the interactions between you and your son, Jordan, it's really powerful. In some ways, it's disarming, and it makes you look like such a nice, gentle, kind person, but it also is somewhat painful to watch, maybe for somebody who doesn't have kids, because of what I just said, that it's like you get to see these interactions that maybe for those of us without kids, we may never have. And I wonder if along the way, I know that the song has impacted a lot of people. I'm curious if you've encountered a wide range of tales about the reaction that your song has caused in people.
Oh, yeah, man. I meet people all the time that come up to me and they say, that song, saved me from wanting to commit suicide. It saved me from divorce that I was going through, because if you have kids and you have a family and the two, the wife and the husband are kind of seeing eye to eye on anything, and somebody's leaving, and the kids, they're always in the middle of the whole divorce or whatever it is, and divorce is always a sad thing, but sometimes maybe it's a blessing in disguise, and it needed to happen. Me and my son's mother, we haven't been together for a long time, but we're starting to become friends and stuff again. And Jordan's also just a really great kid, and he's like 14 years old now, plays guitar, and he's healthy, he's breathing. He's had a really, really good life, and his mom's pretty cool now. It's painful. It's been like a long, long time, to deal with my son not being around me as much as I'd like. But we got through it, and he's going to school and educated, and I'm just happy that he's had a good life. He misses me a lot, and I miss him a lot. But he'll be coming out here to California pretty soon, actually, and then he goes on the road with us as well. And he makes me smile, and I love him so much. And he actually is like my little assistant on when we come on tour. I give him like $50 a day just to just get me things and ice the bus and stock the bus with all the all the food and all the stuff that we need. And he's a really good little worker, and he also plays guitar really good. So he's doing all right, man. We're doing all right, but I'm glad everybody felt that song, and it helped some people get through some situations in their life, you know?
It does. I mean, there are a lot of themes in the video and stuff. And again, it was like for myself, not so much the divorce. I mean, there's like a storyline in the video, but aside from the storyline, I guess I'm saying, just he's an adorable kid. And I don't know, it's just nice to watch. I guess I was just curious if people had ever reflected on the video, sort of like guys without kids when you're older.
Right.
I look at the video and it's touching in this sad way. It kind of makes me realize, man, I never knew I would want that. I never thought about that. It never seemed like for me. And then I watch your video and it makes it different. It's like, damn, you know, it looks so nice. The kid's like a little cuddly animal or something.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, you know, it's crazy. I mean, I was a crazy little freaky kid, man. You know, he's like, he doesn't ever do nothing wrong. You know? Well, I'm in California. He's in Kansas City. So you know what, man? I probably missed a lot of stuff that he might be doing bad. But when he's with me, man, you know, he's a great kid, man. You know, and he's a great little actor too. You know, good guitar player, great little actor. He plays basketball really good. And as long as he's healthy and he's breathing and having a good life, you know, it makes me happy, man. Even though I don't get to see him as much as I would like to.
He did a cool thing making that video, too. I'm sure for the rest of his life he'll appreciate that. Not to mention what you were saying about all the experiences, the bonding that you guys are doing now. As a final note, I just say to you this, bro. When you come out to the island, I hope that... how long are you going to be on Oahu? How long are you going to be here?
You know what? I'm not really sure, man. You know, hopefully we'll get a stay for like an extra day or something. It just depends really on our schedule, really, which... I don't pay too much attention to our schedule as much as I should, but hopefully we'll get to stay a couple of extra days or something like that and hang out.
Well, I certainly hope you do. I just offered to you. We're the NPR station out here. We're public radio, and I wanted to cordially invite you to come to the radio station if at all possible, or just do an interview here with me, either or. That'd
be pretty cool, man.
Thanks again, Brother Wes. I really enjoyed talking to you, man. I hope this wasn't a drag for you.
No, it's great, man. You're awesome, dude, and I can't wait to see you, man. We'll share a couple of beers, man, you know, or something.
Excellent. That's all I can ask, man. I give you a big hug, a high five. I really do appreciate it, Wes. Your stuff is awesome, and it's going to be a pleasure to welcome you to the island.
All right, well, thanks a lot, man. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Aloha, and I'll see everybody in Hawaii.
You be safe, brother. Aloha to you, too.
All right, dog.
Take care, dude.